Good evening. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the surreal life. Danielle couldn't make it today. She's upstairs taking a bath, and well, first she's putting Minnie to sleep, and then she's taking a bath. So she probably won't be here for the stream because it's only going to last an hour, and she takes a long bath. What a day. What a day. We are possibly poised to hit 3 million in 24 hours. I'll remind you that the last Kickstarter for Isaac made 2.65 million in 30 days. It has been almost 1 day, 2 hours. We have 2 hours. It's been a long day. So I ended up going to bed like 3:30, 4 in the morning, and woke up at about 8:30. As you may have noticed behind me, see this bag? No, I'm not a Dexter-like murderer. That's because there's construction happening on the house, and they come at 8 in the morning, regardless of what's going on. They're very kind, but, you can't help but hear them. And you can't help but wake up. It's also hard to sleep when there's a Kickstarter exploding in your subconscious. So I'm kind of floating through the day, and I'm going to go to sleep after this stream. But I'm here now to hang out. What would you guys like to do? I found 2 more things. I found more figurines. So last night I opened up some figures. Why can't I do the thing that they do? Too close? You can see it. I've got all the rest of them. If you want me to unbox these, I can unbox these. Or I can answer your Kickstarter questions. Or we can just shoot the shit. You can talk to me about whatever. And then I'll probably answer like one question and then just float off onto a tangent. That'll last about 30 minutes. And then I'll leave abruptly. What do you guys want to do? Tell me. It seems as though you want your questions. Questions. Okay. Ask me your questions. I'll tell you no lies, etc., etc. Ask them, and I will pause the chat and start answering them. All right. I've stopped it. Lots of light from behind the camera really helps with autofocus. I'm not a streamer. Eventually, I'll just become a streamer because that'll make me far more popular. Somebody brought up the fact that way back in the day, I would say like 8 years ago, there were official figures that were limited edition figures that were sold from our shop personally, and they were all signed. And this person has a Gertie. So Gertie was the rarest figure because Danielle's mother was in a car accident when she was taking a box of the figurines over Highway 17, and her car spun around. She slammed into the side, and the Gerties flew out onto the freeway, and a lot of them got just completely destroyed. So they were like half of what she made essentially survived. So those of you who got those, they're quite rare. I think I put a few of the busted up ones, the freeway Gerties, were featured in some mystery boxes. Javon just told me that there's a new tier. There's a new tier that is up right now for those of you who missed the signed tier. I have decided to double down and add 250 more signed tiers, except This one's called the shitty sign tier because not only do I sign it, I also draw a little poop. And I know what you're saying, but I backed the $800 tier, and that's not fair. Well, you know what? Just for you, I'll draw shit on yours as well. I'll put a poop. So I'm going to sign and draw a poop on all of the prints that are on the shitty tier, as well as the $800 tier. So you don't worry about that because I got your back. There will be a poop drawn on many. Don't you worry. How much did I expect the Kickstarter to actually make? I hoped it would make as much as the last Kickstarter by the end. That's the hope, you know. You don't ever want to do less than the previous Kickstarter. And I tried. I mean, I invested a lot more of my money and of Javon's money in this Kickstarter, hoping that it would do better, almost to try to guarantee that it would do better. But I had no idea that it would do better in the first, 12 hours or whatever it was. So, like 3 million was kind of the pipe dream of like, well, that would be cool if we could do 3 million, maybe 3.5, maybe 4. That would be amazing. Now who fucking knows? I mean, we put up what we would do for each of the increments beyond this point. I think we've got one for 3.5, one for 4, one for 4.5. And I think there's an ultimate one at like 6.66, which is, again, kind of a pipe dream, but I packed it full of stuff, so if we can get there, that'd be great. But if not, it's not a huge loss. I've got other things planned too, so it's whatever. Could we get the Gish cards as an add-on? No, but I promise you that when we put up mystery boxes, they will for sure feature the Gish cards because I do have a handful of them in my garage, as well as a bunch of copies of Gish, and I will put those in as well. Mystery box tier when? Maybe in a week, maybe in 2 weeks. I'm not sure. I actually have to go and get boxes. I haven't been to the post office in forever. The post office downtown Santa Cruz is like being kind of mobbed by homeless, and it's kind of sketchy. So there's always like cops out front, and it's always a weird issue. And then the COVID situation. So I got to go grab some boxes. I'll probably just go to like UPS store or FedEx or something, grab a standard size box so I can gauge what would fit into it with what I have. Then I can take some pictures and kind of give you an idea of what might go in the box. So I have to make it first. I'm scrolling down. Okay. Nope. I've gone too far. When will the mystery box tier go above 800 go online? How limited will it be? Like I said, it'll probably go up in a week or two. It will be definitely more than the $800 tier, and I'll obviously include the $800 tier. May go to 1,100, 1,200. I'm not positive yet, depending on what I really want to stick in there. I'll probably throw a bunch of random little sketches and drawings in there, stuff from around the house, some of my own personal stock and weird shit. Maybe I'll throw some D&D figurines that I've used over the years, some bad movies. Danielle saved a bunch of T-shirts. When we moved, I was going to throw a bunch of T-shirts away because they were so old. Some of them are ones I was wearing in any game in the movie. And she's like, no, we could save these for a mystery box tier in the future. And I said, you're crazy. No one's going to want that. And you probably don't, but I'm still going to put it in the mystery box. When is Repentance coming out for Switch? End of third quarter. That's what I've been told. Will we see playable characters from other games like Gish and Steven? Maybe other characters from different franchises? And did you think the release of Repentance increased popularity of the Kickstarter? I'm not saying anything about any of the warp zones. It's going to be a surprise. I'm not going to say shit. Who fucking knows? You're going to... I have to say that some of the later designs that I've been working on today, actually... So the cool thing, too, is as this gets bigger, there are, of course, other developers coming out of the woodwork that... I contacted in the past, and then, they're like, oh, I didn't get your email or whatever else, and I'm interested. So I'm trying to design around those cards, and I've come up with some pretty cool mechanics. I'm pretty, like, the Brea mechanic was actually Seven Nut's rough idea of like something become like saving the damsel. And I really like that design so much that I kind of want to do other things with it. So there's a lot of, I think the Warp Zone cards are way more experimental, and some of them are just either, for the lulz or to really fuck with the game. So I'm having fun with that. And yes, I think the release of Repentance for sure helped the popularity of the Kickstarter. That could be one of the reasons why we are where we're at. Like, it released a month and a half ago, right? Or 2 months ago. It for sure helped. What are mystery boxes? A mystery box is a box of stuff that you don't know what it is that I put in there. Some things are guaranteed, like there'll be Gish cards, there'll be random promos, there'll be drawings, there'll be bad movie DVDs I don't want anymore, there'll be t-shirts, whatever else I can find to kind of throw in there. I threw in a dead moth last time. It's full of mystery. There could be super valuable things, really, really scarce things. I think I put the original Keeper from the ARG that I kind of fucked up the writing on. It was the original one. I put that in one of the boxes last time. I put some really limited edition stuff in there. I put one of the zines in there last time. I think I put my comic collection in one of them. I might throw some comics in. We just moved, so I got about a bunch of stuff in boxes, and it gives me an excuse to kind of go through them and unload on you guys. But it'll be fun. Now I'm going to scroll down. When are you going to start spoiling more Tainted characters? It's gonna start happening. Like, once, so this is how the Kickstarter is going to go, guys. Kickstarters go like this. The first 2 days are like boom, right? And then it's going to drop after the first week. So it'll probably go like drop down, and then when the weekend happens, maybe like Friday, Saturday it'll go back up, and then it'll just go boom. And then it'll just do this on the ground, flop around on the ground until the last week, and then it'll do a little bit like the first week. So we're going to have this span of 3 weeks, or 2.5 weeks really, where we're going to have a lot of dead air when it comes to, there's not going to be a ton of unlocks happening and whatever else. And that's the time we get to spoil more stuff, because I'll have more time to do that. I won't have to be chasing numbers and like, oh, we got to put this in now, and this has to be up, and now they've unlocked this. It's like the first couple days are so overwhelming because you guys have already gone so far past what I thought that now I've got to, it's like I had absolutely no idea that the tattoo page, the temporary tattoos would be unlocked at this point. So much to the fact that I didn't have anybody make any art for them. I have nothing. And Ham is currently working on them. I think she'll have one done maybe soon, depending on how quickly she does things. And I'll use that as like, okay, this is kind of what it's going to look like, and then we'll figure out the rest in the end. Even the stickers, there's more stickers than that that are going to be done as well. But I didn't expect that to happen, so now I've kind of got to scramble around and make sure all that stuff happens, and I'm still wrangling Warp Zone stuff, and I'm still wrangling a bunch of alt art cards. So it'll happen. We're getting it. Seven Nut is actually going through and exporting existing cards that are cool. Should try to like kind of batch them up for me, and I can just grab and spoil random ones that I think are worth spoiling, usually around noon once things slow down, and that's what I'll be doing. Can we buy extra Tainted coins as an add-on? I think so. So this is the issue. We can do more add-ons, but we kind of promised the people who paid $800 that they get every add-on. So, and we already know that we're going to do at least 2 more add-ons that are kind of pricey, that are really cool. And the people who are doing the $800 tier automatically get those things. And I don't really want to limit the $800 tier. So we got to be a little careful on that. We might have those things maybe post Kickstarter, like during Backer Kit or something. You can add the little bits and pieces. just so we don't get totally screwed over by, there's like almost 400 people that have the $800 tier, so we don't want it to suddenly start dropping in value for us, and then we can really screw ourselves. What's planned for the Tainted Lazarus rework? So Tainted, maybe Danielle's watching the internet up there. Yeah, it's spinning, isn't it? Well, I'm back. Let me just make sure she's not using the internet. I don't know how much you got from what I said, and I don't remember what I said. So we're going to skip to the next question. I think I was talking about Tainted Lazarus. Tainted Lazarus, if anything happens with Tainted Lazarus, he'll probably get a minor buff. And his flip item will flip items in some interesting way. Okay. Edmund McMillan, is there any problem if I want to buy 2 of the same add-on? Or can I just add double the money and that's it? You can just add double the money and that's it. That's it. In the end, it'll be like, do you want this? Yes. Do you want 2 of this? Yes. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who, I know for a fact, because it's a question I get asked a lot. It's like, can I buy an extra base game to give to my friend? Can I buy 2 to give to 2 of my friends or whatever else? And you can, and that'll be a thing. Okay. Where am I? Dick drawing on top of the poop drawing tier when? Eventually. We'll see. We'll see about that dick drawing. The issue with that is that I don't think people that have the 800 tier are all going to want that dick drawing on their print. Am I a businessman? I'm a businessman when it's business time. Let's do goal 5. We're almost there. You know what's honestly closer? The fucking tattoos. Like, there are so many Isaac tattoos out there that I'm pretty sure that one could actually go faster at this point, depending on if it's night or day outside. I don't know if you're going to be finding some legit tainted rocks, but do it up. Was Henry on purpose? No, I read that wrong. What is Henry's purpose? So it sucks that, obviously people found him once he was kind of data mined after the fact. I'm pretty sure somebody linked me to, there was a post on 4chan or something claiming that they saw him and no one believed him and they thought it was a shit post, but it was true. Henry's purpose, he's the Loch Ness shit. That's what his purpose is. He's there as the rarest thing in the game for you to brag about seeing. But, initially he would be there to do exactly what he did, which is somebody posts something about him and then no one believed him because no one's seen it. And then the mods and stuff aren't available, so they can't get in there and actually dig him out. That was Henry's purpose. He served his purpose. He's a good boy, and he's the best. More questions about official release date for Console Repentance. I'll tell you this. If there was an official release date for anything, you would know about it because I'd be constantly talking about it and like hyping the fact that it's a thing. I don't have an official release date yet. End of third quarter is what Tyrone is telling me. I already talked about Henry. Is the gold box the same or updated like the rest of the old stuff? The gold box expansion, that it's a pack that comes with the new second edition base game, has been updated. Every card that was previously printed has been completely updated. New background. I wonder if I can show. Let's see if I can show it. I'll show you a card. Where are you? Where are you? Let's go into the base game. I'm not going to be able to do this, am I? Characters, monsters. No, these are all Photoshop files. Maybe. Okay. I'll prep this for next time and I'll show you. But all the cards have new backgrounds. And the backgrounds are tied to the areas that they're in. They look really cool. Even like the different types of loot cards all have backgrounds. So like trinkets, tarot cards, coins, bombs, that sort of stuff. Like they have different distinct backgrounds, and starting items, characters, tainted characters have different backgrounds than non-tainted characters. We spent a lot of money and time. Akio did outdid himself when it came to his work ethic is pretty insane. He's done a lot of work. He probably did more work than I'm actually going to use, because he did alt art backgrounds for all of the boss backgrounds as well as the enemy backgrounds. But I think it kind of the boss door in the background catches the eye a bit too much. It doesn't feel as much like a background, and it kind of takes away from the character, so I might end up just using the default ones. Sorry. Is the Requiem playmat Kickstarter exclusive? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Excuse me. I'm gassy. I had a Chipotle burrito, and I'm sure I'm going to be extra gassy tonight. Can you eat the cards? I can't recommend you to eat the cards. I could eat the cards. What's planned for the Void and Delirium rework? The Void, outside of visual changes possibly, I don't think it needs to be changed. When it comes to Delirium, I just want him to be a little more fun and not so spastic. I would be happy if he just completely never telefragged and had a little bit more going on that felt strategic. Just a slight tweak here and there. I know that Vin wants to do a whole rework, but Vin wants to do a lot of stuff. And I know Vin wants to get back to living life that's not just The Binding of Isaac, which he's been in for the past 5 years. So we'll have to just see what happens. Okay. Lots of so as somebody who struggles to read this already, when all you guys are just spamming memes about become back my money and count a trash farm, which is very funny, and I enjoy it myself. Holy shit, like it makes it very difficult for me to read, because even though I know that phrase, I still have to read it, and then I think I'm reading wrong because it sounds weird. Would you consider a replica Dark Arc's dagger for a goal? That seems dangerous. No, probably not. How can I be sure that I'll receive the Tainted Isaac figure? I pledged, and I'm still receiving mails telling me to pledge. How can I be sure that I will receive the pre-registered cards? You're probably getting spammed a little bit from the sign-up sheet just because we don't want people to complain about not getting in here on time, and we've almost got 24 hours to go on the Tainted Isaac tier, so we want to push that enough so people don't complain about not getting it if they come in late. And like I said in the past stream, we're going to go silent on that after the fact. What else? Also, how can you be sure that you're getting the pre-register? If you're getting emails from signing up, then you're going to get the pre-registered card, pre-registration cards, or the promo cards. The Kickstarter says that the money we use for add-ons is also used for shipping and VAT. Does it say that? I don't think it says that. You will pay for shipping in post after the fact. I guess if you want to put money in now, it could be used, but you don't need to do that. We will figure that out after the fact. Right, Javon? Javon says he's going crazy sending emails. Does the big boy box and up get all the stretches? Yes, it does. Big boy box is where it's at. You'll be getting everything from here on up. Does Tapeworm have limited stock? Technically, yes, but I don't think it's going to sell out. And if it did, we would just probably do another print run, and you would get something from there. Any Ether 2 news? No. The next project I'm working on is Mugenics. That's going to be the answer here, the going answer for what I'm working on next. Once this Kickstarter ends and the dust settles. So I'll probably be working on this Kickstarter for another month, just picking up the pieces, and I'll work part-time on Mugenic stuff and try to unpack my house. And then once all this card game, my part of this card game is finished, I'm just going to be working on Mugenics with Tyler. Okay. I've scrolled down. Will retail packs contain 6 sets of the Kickstarter rewards or only 1? Okay, this is how it works. Everything that is unlocked goes in the boxes, and that's how those boxes are printed. So whatever's unlocked is already going to be in those boxes. So if you get 6 big boy boxes or 6 Requiem boxes, they will all contain the same contents. What's your opinion on the mantle nerf? Do you think it's fair? Do you think it needs to be reworked again? I have minor issues with, like, I could argue, raising it by 0.3 seconds. I think with so many spiked rocks around, it like basically time it so on average speed walking over a spiked rock wouldn't double hit you. I think that's kind of fair. And we can kind of I'll talk to Vin on that when the time comes. Is it possible to get Requiem sooner? There's always the possibility, if the fucking world heals itself and everything's great and everybody's fantastic and everybody's getting along and the printer doesn't slow down and the stars align and whatever else. Yes, it's always possible that we could ship a little earlier than the date. But we want to keep that as the fallback. If we can get it sooner, then Javon is an amazing person and he will get all the credit. If not, I think we'll hit the date that we set. Can we get treasure-backed versions of the Eternal items so we can have them in the treasure deck when we aren't playing with those characters? So this is the thing. Those items are the characters. The characters don't matter as much as the items. So it would feel a little shitty to have somebody have an ability that is tied to a character that anybody and everybody could have access to. Some effects I could see, basically having a duplicate of, but it doesn't sound as cool to me, and it would be really difficult for you to find the card when you're looking through the deck if it didn't have a different back. Hello, I have no friends. Should I still get the game? Yes, there's a single player version of the game. You can play a solitaire variation of the game. Info on that will be up in a couple weeks, and it's actually pretty fun. How big is the signed print? I'm not sure. Javon will have to figure that out. It's a really nice print. I should probably show it somewhere. Remind me. Someone on Twitter bothered me and tell me to show it huge, because Ori made it and it's really good. I don't know how big it's going to print yet. Big enough to roll up and put in something, or big enough to secure it in something for shipping where it doesn't get fucked up. Spunky. Yeah. Spunky. Will planetariums be in 4 souls? If so, how will they work? I have currently not designed anything planetarium wise, but that could definitely be something I design on the fly. It could be a room card. So eventually I'm hoping we'll get to a point where we unlock a few cards that you guys can help me design. You guys can suggest stuff for and challenge me, and then vote on what card you want to see in the game. And that can be one of them. If you guys want a planetarium, it would go something like this. You know, when the planetarium card is revealed out of the room deck, the person who is the active player gains +1 treasure, and then discard this at the end of turn. Poof, I've designed the planetarium, but it needs art. But stuff like that, we can powwow, brainstorm. I got a burp. Didn't you think about 4 tokens for the 4 moves per turn? I have no fucking clue what that's supposed to mean. Didn't you think about 4 tokens for the 4 moves per turn? Edmund McMillan. I don't know what that means. Will Requiem as an add-on get the Warp Zone cards? Yes. As I've said before, anything that is unlocked that goes into these boxes will go into every single box that is on the Kickstarter. If you buy Requiem as an add-on, it will have all of the Kickstarter extras because you purchased it on Kickstarter. So it'll have all the Kickstarter exclusive Warp Zone cards. Custom stands for figures? No. They're going to just look like this. They're clear. And I think this is one of the cooler things. It says my name on it. Look, it says my company name. You can't really see it. It says Edmund McMillan Games, Inc. How cool is that? That's a pretty cool thing to see on something. It was really weird to see my name on a box of a game sold at Target. That was pretty cool. Thanks, Tyrone. Thanks, Javon. Okay, where am I? I can increase payment, right? I don't have a lot of budget right now. The plan is to get the big boy possibly, and then boost for the base game edition. You could do, yes. And it's not going to take away the Tainted Isaac figurine. You can modify your pledge as long as you don't go below the $35 threshold. You will not lose your Tainted Isaac figure in the end. So if you finish the Kickstarter and you're above 35, whatever increment you have gets the Tainted Isaac since you pledged in the first 48 hours. And you can do whatever you want as you want. I'll also keep in mind, people, that we don't charge you until the very end of the Kickstarter. So if you raise your pledge now and it turns out you don't have enough money and need to lower it by the end of the month, then you can do that. So if you're worried about a limited edition tier and you're like, oh shit, I really want that, you just pledge to that amount. We're not going to charge you until the end of the Kickstarter. And then by the end, if it turns out that you can't afford it, then you just lower it. Turns out Danielle wasn't watching anything. It was just the shitty internet. Will the big box have exclusive target cards? Well, they're called exclusive target cards for a reason. That's a big no for me. Does the normal playmat come with the game? Or do you have to purchase the Requiem playmat in order to obtain the playmat? You have to buy the playmat as an add-on. It doesn't come with any of the tiers unless you're pledging $800, and then it does. Will you do any tainted versions of other characters? Oh, I see. Guppy, Bumbo, etc. No. Only the tainted versions of the characters that exist in the game. Does the red Requiem box come with the big box? So if you get the big box, we don't ship you the little red box. We take the guts out and we put it in the big box because this saves you upwards of $12 to $20 in shipping. Trust me, you don't want this box and this box. It just makes more issue for you and it costs more money. This is the way to do it. It's better overall. Okay. And then they said, yes, turn tracking tokens. Turn tracking tokens? Why would you need a turn tracking token? Usually, when you tell somebody it's their turn or you're done with your turn, you totally know. I've never in my life played a game, and I've played a lot of 4-player games, lost track of whose turn it was in a game like this. But you could just pass around an Isaac figure. How's that? Pass around the Tainted Isaac figure, and that's how you track whose turn it is. I fixed it. Look at me. I'm a designer and a businessman. Everybody loves me. Look at the big brain on me. Is there a chance for grub gameplay? Is this grub? Are you the same guy who was grubbing it up yesterday? No, I'm not going to show you that. Go away from me. Okay, scrolling down. What can we expect from warp zones? And will the future social goals be more difficult? Yes. Things will ramp up and become more and more difficult as we go. Because that's the fun. You know, I wouldn't start you out difficult because I wouldn't want you to get scared and then just get discouraged and stop playing my game. So yeah, it'll get a little crazier as it goes, and it might slow down a little bit. But I think you guys can finish what I got. And when it comes to what you can expect from Warp Zones, you can expect some fucking cool shit and big surprises. Okay. Would you give a repentance key to a 3.5 million Mexican YouTube streamer? He wants to try the game. Heck yes, I would. And I've got codes. Just at me in English, and I will DM this person and give them a code. Will there be holographic cards with duplicates in the box? That is actually something we can do. I'll talk to Javon about it. So I said this before. I don't want to do foil cards that need to be shuffled into decks. But we could possibly do foil cards of character cards and starting items and bonus souls. If that's something that you guys want, tell me that you want it. I might do a poll. We could, of course, do duplicate cards for that, but that would be some crazy unlock. And it would have to be tied to financials because it's expensive to actually start the whole process of printing foil. And duplicates as well. And of course it makes a little bit more weight in the box. So what's your second favorite item in the whole game and why? I don't know. Something poop related because it's number 2. Will all non-tainted characters be in the game such as Eden? Yeah. Eden has been in the game many a time. There's a mode that people like to play on tabletop sim, where it's all Eden. So 4 Edens, and it's just randomly generated. So you get a random starting item from the treasure deck, and everybody plays as Eden. I think that's really cool, and I want to support that. So I'd like to eventually unlock a few Edens, more Edens, but currently there is 1, and I want to do more. Though I promise that you guys probably already have unlocked 2 more Eden alt art cards already. So we just need at least 1 more after that, and we've got 4. Okay. What are your thoughts on how people play Tainted Cane, such as how people mostly look up recipes and craft? You know, I thought that was going to happen. We talked about it, and we thought it would be cool to let people figure that out and kind of put it together. If you want to play that way, play that way. If you don't want to play that way, just play blind. It's really up. I mean, we're at the point with repentance where people can just cheat if they want and they can unlock everything. So it's really about restraint and how you feel satisfied with the game. I personally wouldn't do that. I would go in. That's just kind of cheapens it for me. But I'm not everybody else. I'm a fucking weirdo, and I don't like the same things as anybody else. It's kind of weird that you guys even like this game because you shouldn't. Why didn't you use the Anti-Birth soundtrack for Repentance? So, I think that the soundtrack was great. I personally didn't like it. I can understand why other people liked it. It felt like a poppier version of Danny's soundtrack, which in a lot of eyes is probably great, which is probably why you guys like it so much. I don't like that. I was trying to move away from that, and that's why I stopped, working with Danny and moved on to Ridiculon. I wanted to have more of a dark, atmospheric, pagany, crunchy, sludgy, metally soundtrack, not as poppy and catchy. And it's just my preference. I think there's certain soundtracks that work better to complement the atmosphere of a game, and I felt like it was needed in Isaac, so I did not entertain the idea of bringing it over. If you guys want to put it in, once again, I'm sure there's a mod out there and you can totally do that. That's your own thing. But when it comes to me, I didn't want to do that, and I'm not a fan of doing alternate soundtracks or whatever else. Do you ever get writer's block when designing cards? I haven't yet. I really enjoy designing cards. I think it's really fun and very fulfilling creatively. Little cool little designs. Can we get a small heart bag or tier bag as stretch goals? So there's already so the heart bag, even though there's a dollar sign on the black Tainted bag, it's supposed to be a bag for hearts and coins. So it's bloody and it carries coins. I think you just put everything in that bag. I think it's good. Is Sag doing a bonus art card? Not Your Sagittarius has done multiple cards. They aren't bonus cards. She has done just main game cards. She was kind of the bonus artist who did a handful of cards. I think I asked her going in. I said, do you want to do some art for Four Souls? And she was like, I really want dibs on X, Y, Z. And I'm like, well, you got it. And she did it. I'm sure I'll spoil them eventually. Okay, scrolling. Ed, my son turned 10 today. We're both huge fans. Can you wish Finn a happy birthday when he gets up, please? Yes. Finn, I hear you're turning 10 today. Happy birthday, son. I'm very proud of you. And I hope you have a very good birthday. Stay safe. Be strong. I love you, Finn. All right. Now on to this. Are you planning on coming out with a bigger rule book? Yes. Don't know exactly when that's fucking gonna happen. Do you still remember Super Meat Boy? Not forever. Fondly? Yes and no. I mean, Super Meat Boy was still such a fucking hellish development cycle. The development of it was hard, and it was very depressing. And there was a lot on the line. There was a lot of tears, and me wanting to quit. But I love the game still. I think it's a little rough around the edges now. I think the controls aren't as good. They didn't completely stand the test of time, but I'm still pretty proud of what I did. It's still my third best game. I don't know. I would say The End is Nigh is number one, then The Binding of Isaac, then maybe Super Meat Boy. Maybe. So yeah, I'm proud of it. Development isn't fond, and it's been mildly tainted by time. So it is what it is, but I'm still proud of what I did. Will there also be dimes made? I don't think so. Nickels were kind of like almost a last minute thing, and you don't really need a dime. So no. Scrolling down. Can we get a free Guppy dice stretch goal for the big box and up? No. But there'll be other stuff that is really fucking cool that we can add into that. But it already has the cool dice. And if you want the Guppy dice, you can buy the Guppy dice. So our Dark Judas and Tainted Judas character is going to be different or the same in the new expansions. They're completely different characters. Dark Judas, I know they look exactly the same. Dark Judas is the Judas that you become when you get the shadow and you die. That's Dark Judas. Tainted Judas is the tainted version of Judas. And their starting items are named different, but they're both daggers. It's confusing. But that's how it is. That's just how it is. If anything, you could say that Dark Judas was the precursor to Tainted Judas. Is Edith gone, or will they ever return? So Edith is a girl, because she's the Pillar of Salt girl, and I believe they are gone. Going into development in Requiem, I talked to Vin about her. I said, "What's up with this character? She looks cool," and he's like, "She was a cool idea, but she was very unfun to play, and I could never get her to work." And I said, "Well, do you want to try?" And he basically was like, "No, let's just focus on making Bethany really cool," which we did. And when I decided I wanted to do Tainted Alts for everything, I thought it would be cool to pay homage to his character, not just visually, but also semi-thematically. So when I did Tainted Forgotten, that was me kind of doing the same thing. So you've got the Pillar of Salt, you've got the pile of bones, you've got the static pile of bones that attacks, right? Just like how Edith would have been. And then you've got her jump teleport, which is the ghost coming and picking the bones up and throwing them to their next destination. And that's why Tainted Forgotten looks like Edith. So in a way, she's still there. She never left. And that's it. Scrolling down. Will It Lives make a return? There may be an It Lives alt art promo card coming in the future. Can you show us Guppy? Like the real cat? Because that cat's been dead for quite a long time. And how dare you bring that up? I don't know what you're talking about. Isaac and Smash, of course. Let's do it, guys. Let's make it happen. Keep bothering Nintendo until it happens. I'll be your best friend. Do alt characters have alt starting items? Alt characters have their own items that are based off of the designs of the alt characters from the game. Will there be a release of Ether 2? When I work on it again and it gets done, not for many years, if ever. What's your favorite card in the base game? There are so many cards. I don't know. I have no idea. Will there be a Blood Puppy card? Not yet. But if you guys really want it, bother me about it. And if we unlock random fucking cards, then that's what we'll put in. What characters come in each set? All of the main characters come in the base game. All of them. Except for Bethany, well, the new ones. Except for Bethany and Jacob and Esau. So in the Four Souls Plus expansion, we did weirdo characters. So we got Bumbo, we've got Guppy, we've got Tainted Judas, and who was the other one? Who was the other one, guys? Why can't I remember it? Who was it? Somebody, we tell the chat what it is. I know that there's a fourth character, and I can't remember what it is. And now in Requiem, all of the Tainted characters, there are actually going to be more characters in Requiem than there actually were, a lot more, than in the base game. So there's all the Tainted characters and Jacob and Esau as well as Bethany. You guys figured out what it is? Whore of Babylon. Thank you. The Whore of Babylon was the other character. They were kind of like the kind of weird off characters that floated around the game. Okay. Will Samson, Laz, Eden, Bethany, Jacob, and Esau eventually get miniatures? If So there's one more thing that I would like to do on Kickstarter with The Binding of Isaac. Possibly end of next year, I would like to do a art book. I would also like to do an encyclopedia. I think that would be really neat. If I do that, I would like to do a mini expansion for 4 Souls and also do these figurines. So that would be the opportunity to do them. Or maybe we just do them randomly during the year or whatever if it doesn't happen. We'll see. Is Requiem required to play single player? No, you can play with the base game. But the thing is one of the things that improves single player play is removing cards that interact with other players only. And our goal currently is to go through all the cards and mark the little corners of the cards with a graphic that shows that it's for multiplayer only. So you can cut those cards out of the deck when you're playing single player or co-op. Can you spoil how Jacob and Esau will work? It's pretty fucking cool. Okay, so the basic Jacob and Esau is not that cool. Tainted Jacob and Esau is fucking cool. All I will say until I spoil it is that it's 3 cards. Tainted Jacob and Esau is actually 3 cards. And we'll go from there. Can you check the mines and see if they're done? You know what? Once I get off here in 10 minutes, I will check and see an update, and then I will post. It would be cool to do now. Let's see. Okay, this will be the most boring part of the stream. We're going to look and see. Okay, Twitter's not even fucking loading my shit. All right, we've got a clay statue. We've got 1 tattoo. You keep track of what I'm saying. 1 tattoo. 2 tattoos. We've got a tinted rock. Oh, it's a really nice tinted rock too. That's legit. We've got another tattoo. We've got another tinted rock. You guys keeping track of this? We've got a kind of sort of tattoo. We've definitely got a tattoo that is more of a Zodiac tattoo than an Isaac tattoo. We'll say yes. There's another tattoo. Put that up there. And there's rocks that definitely aren't tinted rocks, so I'm not counting that. Oh, there's more. Let's keep going. No, I don't see an X on that. That's not a tinted rock. Not taking that one. Up, tinted rock on the wild. A guy drew an X on a Cheez-It box. That's funny. I will take it. One more tinted rock. Oh, there's a really cool Duke of Flies sculpt. I'm going to retweet that. What else? Another tattoo. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Keep tallying this up. We got another tattoo. Okay, more. We've got another tinted rock. Somebody made it, but it's legit. We've got another Isaac tattoo. That's not a tinted rock. And that's it. What are we up to? Give me the totals. How many tattoos? So 4 tinted, 7 tattoos. Okay, let me go into my thing here. So we need 11. We need 11 more tattoos. And we need 5 more tinted rocks. I don't know if it's going to happen before I go to sleep, folks. Can you guys pull this out? I'll give it 10 more minutes. I'll check again at the very end. I'll check at the very end. I want to make this happen for you because it'll be fun to fucking spoil the next, because you guys will really like it. I'm sure you guys have some idea of what it is because it's the only thing that I spoiled at all when it came to Warp Zones. Okay, I will continue answering questions and we will check back and see. I'll tweet. We only need 11 more tattoos and 5 more tinted rocks to finish this area. That'll get him. That'll get him. Okay. What are you guys saying? Okay. If we back the everything tier, do we get one of each shirt and both beanies and all figures? I think so. That's all of it. So yes. Pins. So pins, the pin thing I talked about before is probably hopefully going to happen. If it doesn't, so where's my unlocks? Someone messaging me. Okay. So if we can get to 4 million, we'll put a random pin in the big box. But I think before we hit 4 million, we're going to add some blind box add-ons for pins. There are 25 different pins based on some of the highest and lowest items in the game. They're all represented, all the high lows, and I thought it would be really fun to randomize them. So when you buy a pack of pins, you don't know what you're going to get. Maybe you'll get a poop, maybe you'll get a brimstone. Who knows? And the cool thing is that if we get to 4 million, which seems quite possible at this point, we will unlock that. Or is it 4.5? It's 4. For 4 million, we will unlock a random pin, one of 25, and it will be tossed into the big box. And how cool is that? So you'll open up your box and be like, I got a poop. I think that's neat anyway. That's pins. Do I need to upgrade my base game and expansion to the 2nd edition to play with Requiem? Of course not. I would not do that to you. You can completely play with the cards all together, and it will play just fine. The remade expansion and base game are there for clarity mostly. We wanted to make sure that the game is as clear as possible when it comes to wording and consistent, more keyword effects, more references to stuff in the instruction manual, which will be expanded. And then while we were at it, I thought it would be cool to make all the cards look consistent with when it came to backgrounds, because I was doing new backgrounds for Requiem. So we took the opportunity and we did that. Will we ever see any of your game soundtracks on vinyl records? So I'm a cool guy, and one of my cool guy things that I do is I allow the musicians that I'm working with to essentially own their music for the purposes of distribution. So whatever Ridiculon sells, they get 100% of the profits for. They can also print whatever they'd like and sell it, and I don't want anything from it. So it's kind of up to them. But it wouldn't be something I would do because it's really their thing, unless they wanted me to do it, and then I'd have to take my cut. Any cut character ideas from the Binding of Isaac that didn't make it for any reason or another? No, I mean a lot of the Tainted characters were heavily modified. I think we had originally they were a bit more basic. They were just kind of like the original characters, kind of. Basically like a new item attached to them that changed the way they play. And then once we had made Cain, it kind of raised the bar, and we're like, no, like all of these characters need to like play completely differently. And we went through and made them super cool. We're almost up to 2.9 million. Holy shit. This is fucking insane. Okay. Does the big boy box include the base game, or do you need to buy it separate? You need to buy it separate. Everything that is included in the big boy box is listed, so you can clearly see what's in it. It does not feature the base game. It wouldn't even make any sense because the base game is $40, Requiem's $35, And the box itself is another $35, and that wouldn't equate to $65. We'd be definitely losing money on that one. The full collection has everything in it. That's the $110 tier, which is the tier you're looking for if you want that. I recommend it. Playable Gish. There are so many Gishes. There are so many Gishes in this game, and I've made Gish promos and everything else. I don't foresee doing Gish as a playable character. I also don't want to cheapen the idea of playable characters in Warp Zones. I don't want to constantly have a bunch of playable characters, because then it doesn't make it as cool when they do appear. Any plans to improve Tainted Apollyon? He feels basic. I think he's fine, and he is basic, but he's fine. I don't think he needs to be reworked. I think maybe we could go through and make a handful of special locusts from specific items. We did some. A few more would be cool, but outside of that, I don't see it being a big issue. They can't all be golden. He gets the job done. He's not a lower one. He's still fun. How much will be shipping on the 330 DLLs pack to Mexico? I don't know. Look at the bottom of the Kickstarter page. It should give you a rough idea of what they would ship for there. If you're buying multiple things, it would be consolidated shipping, so it wouldn't be like a 1-to-1 on per box. But we don't have the specific details on that yet. We won't be able to get that until later. Well, okay. I'm gonna do 5 more minutes. I'm gonna check Twitter again and see where we're at, and then I gotta cut the stream because I hear the baby crying and I think Danielle needs me. The Angel Isaac says it comes in a separate box. Do we need to pay shipping for it twice then? Also, will you be shipping the boxes right after the Kickstarter? Shipping the boxes? Are you talking about mystery boxes? Everything will ship when everything's done, which will probably be next year. And Angel Isaac price tier, I have no idea. That's something Javon's going to have to answer. Is The Legend of Bumbo coming to Switch or other places still? It's still in the works. I don't have any information on it yet. It's definitely been slowed down with Repentance and everything else, but I'm still working on it and we're figuring it out. Just completed The Lost a few minutes ago. Congratulations. What character starting item are you most excited to add to the game? Tainted Jacob and Esau starting item. Will Requiem feature its enemies and bosses that have yet to be added to Repentance? I don't think so, unless you count Warp Zones, but those aren't going to be added. Any chance of tapeworm rewards? We need more tapeworm in our lives. No. Outside of, rebuying the game, no. I want to try to keep it more Isaac-y. Are there any cool secrets in the Binding of Isaac that haven't been found yet? I think for the most part they've all been found since everybody's, opened it up. But there's probably stuff you don't know about that other people have found. What is the Tainted Lilith plush going to look like? The picture on the Kickstarter looks like a drawing. Will there be an update? Please, I would love to know. So the reason why it's just a drawing is because the prototype that I got sent, I wasn't happy with, and we had them redo it. And I'm not going to show you that image because it doesn't look good. The new images that I've seen look really cool. She'll look basically like a Lilith version of Azazel. So she'll have, long hair like this. She'll have an actual blindfold with blood on it that goes across. And one of the things that I wasn't happy with is they just did a blindfold for the prototype, a blindfold across, and there's nothing under it. And I wanted there to be something that, because, my instinct would be to look and see what's underneath. So I had them do like bloodied, kind of blacked out eyes. I thought that looked really neat. And the real reason why it's taken much longer to get the final prototype stuff is because her incubus had to be specially made, and that was basically a whole mini plush in itself. But I assume that we'll get some at least prototype images that we can put up that look more final in the next week or two. But you never know. She'll look fucking cool though, I promise. I wouldn't put something out if it looks stupid. Last question of the day. Is there any way to get the gold Kickstarter exclusive cards as an add-on without having to get the second edition? I already have the first edition and I don't want to buy it again. I'm sorry, but no. It would be really shitty for us to just sell the gold box expansion by itself because so many people went out of their ways to pay a lot of money in order to acquire the gold box specifically for that expansion. So the only way to get it is to buy the full base game, and it will only be available during this Kickstarter. And that's it. That's the end of it. It's Kickstarter exclusive gold box. It will only appear when Kickstarters are happening, and we won't be selling it in retail or off of our own store, and we won't be selling it separately. Now I'm going to look. I'm going to look and see what people have done. There's a... Okay. We've got one tinted rock. We've got a half-done Azazel tattoo. I guess it's half Azazel, half Isaac. I see. Oh, we've got another tattoo. That's 2 tattoos. We've got... Yes, that is a tinted rock. We've got a tinted rock. Is there an X on this one? No, I don't see an X. Can't credit that one. Ooh, we got an amazing tattoo that needs to be colored. Another tattoo. We got a brimstone and Godhead tattoo. Somebody carved an X in the wood. Yeah, I'll accept that. We got another a tinted rock. We got another tinted rock. We've got an angry Isaac with a top hat. I'll retweet that. A tattoo. So another tattoo. We got another tinted rock. We got another tattoo. There's some attempt at a tinted rock here, but I'm going to say no. Where's the tinted rock on this? Do I see a... Okay, that one passes. We got another tinted rock. What's this? We've got another tinted rock. We've got another tattoo. What in the fuck is going on here? We've got what appears to be some sort of large piece of glass with 2 ripped pieces of paper that make an X over it. And I say yes, that is a tinted rock. Credit. Another tinted rock. And another tinted rock. Another weird piece of rock. And another tinted rock. And a tainted lost tattoo. That one's new. I like that one. Ah, that's cute. Somebody got a rock from D&D and put an X on it. That's a tinted rock. Credit. I'm loading more, and that's it. Okay, what are we at? 11 tattoos. 10 tats, 11 tinted rocks. So that we did it, right? We did it. Okay, let me message Danielle and just tell her that I'm going to be up here soon. You guys are going to get to see the unlocks first. Let me put an X around this thing. Come on. Excuse me, guys. Let me save this. I'll post this after. Okay. You guys did it. So, time to spoil some cards. These cards are going to be big. I'll try to get through to them. Again, thanks 7-Nut for doing this and prepping these for me. Let's go into Requiem and Warp Zones and PNGs. Oh, they're not here yet. It's only the other ones. We don't have them prepped. Bear with me, folks. Bear with me. I'm going to have to save them myself. I didn't think this was going to happen tonight, so let's do motherfucker. Let's do this. I apologize for staring blankly into space as you guys watch me work. This is like actually streaming where I'm just staring off into space. Okay, I'll put this on the desktop. We got one warp zone card. We've got, come on, Photoshop. We've got 2. I'm not going to bother cropping it. It'll just have a black outline. I got 2 warp zone cards. We've got 3 warp zone cards. And the 4th one is already up. That's 4, right? Let me make sure. The second unlock is this. Yeah, it's another small pack. These packs are going to get bigger as they go. It's a pack of 4. And I will put them up. So first, one of them is the one that you've already seen. It's the Spelunky Idol. I don't need to put this up, but I will post it up on Twitter because you guys have already seen it. So we will put up the Shopkeeper. How cool is this motherfucker? Okay, so he's a really, really tough enemy already. He's a 4 toughness, 5. He only gets hit on a 5 and 6, and if you miss, he deals 2 fucking damage to you. But he enables you guys to steal treasure from the shop. At any time, the active player could purchase an item. They may roll. If they roll a 1 to 4, they must attack the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper gets them for fucking with the shop. If you roll a 5 or a 6, the next shop item that they purchase this turn cost nothing. Fucking cool card. Love this design. Very, very pleased with it. And how cool is this Spelunky pack? I love it. Derek was the first person I contacted about this, and I hoped he would be down with doing this. He made a card game himself. He's a cool dude and a friend of mine, and I'm glad that we could make this happen. On to the next one. The next one is going to be 2 cards. Remember that time when I'm like, I don't want to... Where is it? I'm like, I don't want to keep doing playable characters because it cheapens how cool playable characters are. Well, I'm a liar. Because Spelunky, Guy Spelunky, is a playable character. And he's got an interesting mechanic. So he starts with a Spelunky pack. And this is a pretty unique starting item. This starting item starts off with 3 counters. Each time you kill a monster, you get 2 counters, and you put 2 counters on this. And at any time, you can remove a counter. Oh, there should be a little pay thing here. I gotta fix this. So there should be an activated pay image here that says, you know, $, basically. Remove a counter, choose one. Your next, +1 to your next roll. Gain 3 cents, or put a shop item into discard. So he can mine, he can fuck with the shop, or he can whip, essentially, to gain accuracy with his roll. You can pay this as much as you want, as much as you have. So, like, if you want to get wacky right off the bat, he can buy a shop item, as long as you've got one more. Well, yeah, right off the bat. You can cash in 3 counters for 9 coins. You start with 3 coins. So you can buy a shop item right off the bat if you want to just go that direction. He's very versatile, basically. He can manipulate his rolls, but he's only good when it comes to attacking and possibly making sure other players don't get shop items, or refreshing the shop if he really wants to get wacky. So he's a good one-sided character that doesn't interact with other people. He doesn't really have much defense or offense against other people at all. He's purely in it for the gold and the glory. He's all about killing monsters. So that's Guy Spelunky and Spelunking Pack. I'll go ahead and put this up for anybody who didn't see it, because it is the 4th card. And I think it's really cool either way. And I think it's on my desktop. Looking through the cards. There it is. Golden Idol. For those of you who missed this was the one thing I spoiled from Warp Zones. This card's really cool. This is a monster card. I call these cards event cards. Some people call them happenings. They are random things that come off the top of the deck, and they do something. Much like the Brea card that was spoiled before. This is pretty similar. When this is revealed off of the monster deck for whatever reason and put into play, when it enters play, it becomes an item. The active player gains it. So right away, they gain this cursed idol. And it gives them this ability. At the end of your turn, gain 10 cents. It's fucking nuts. This is basically an item. It buys you another item right away at the end of your turn. But as long as you're holding this idol, other players may attack you. For their attack during their turn, they may attack you, and you have a dice value of +4, or DC. And again, you use your player card just like a monster card. So most people would have 2 life, 4+ DC, and 1 damage. When you die on another player's turn, they steal it from you. They are forced to take it from you. And then they become the golden idol holder, and it is passed around. And it's eternal, so you can never sacrifice it. It will keep going around the table. And it's fucking cool. Like, this is cool, right? Like, I'm impressed with these cards, so I know you guys must think it's pretty cool too. I love the Warp Zone cards. They really, the themes and stuff that I got to mess around with were inspiring. You know, I got to literally design around these things. It's like, what would the shopkeeper do? What would the golden idol do? You know, what would Spelunky do? And those were the designs that I came up with, and that's it. Is there an animal? Animal detected. I've got to go to bed. I need to post this stuff. I need to post the next. I'll do this here too, since you guys are here. I feel bad for leaving Danielle alone upstairs. I need to sleep at some point though. The next social goal to-do list 3. Entering the mausoleum. These are going to be the next things you guys are doing. We'll go through this here since you guys are here. 15 people cosplay as Guppy and post pictures. I got to try to do some more incentive here for you guys to go overboard and not just like haphazardly paint shit on your face or wear like stupid ears. I might start this tomorrow and say like, I'm going to choose one person who went above and beyond here It'd probably be the person if they make this shitty sitcom thing. I'll shoot maybe 2. Like if I see people going really overboard, I'll fucking send you a full foil pack or some shit, like I did with the Tapeworm Kickstarter. I want to start rewarding you guys so you go above and beyond and not just hastily do garbage, which is sometimes fun. But let's go through it. 15 people cosplay as Guppy and post pictures. 25 people cry on their mothers. When asked why or what they're doing, you simply say, killing you. This is an easy one. So just start crying on your mom. It'd be more funny if she just thought you were actually upset and somebody else was recording this. And then when she asked what was wrong, then you could say that and then she would have no fucking clue what you're talking about. One person makes a shitty video intro to The Binding of Isaac in 90s sitcom format. This is something that Trial by Trolley did. I thought it was super fucking cool, and I want to see what you guys would do for this. Person who does this, if you do it well, it's not some shitty old garbage thing, I'll give you something cool. 60 people record and post video messages wishing Isaac a happy 10th birthday. Bonus points if you mention that he's dead. So what I'm looking for here is you legitimately wishing somebody named Isaac a happy birthday. You know, happy 10th birthday, Isaac. I wish you were still with us. I'm so sorry about that mom thing. I wish your cat didn't die. Something on theme with The Binding of Isaac. Be creative. Be funny. I'll retweet the stuff that's funny. And finally, 15 people reconstruct Guppy out of plush toys and or items from around the house. Don't care how you do it. Make something that looks roughly like Guppy out of multiple different pieces of things. Take pictures, post them, and that's it. So, the next unlock is something silent, and you descend into the planetarium. And I think you guys could possibly get this done in a day. Maybe by the end of tomorrow. That would be cool. And that's it from me, dog. I'm going to go to the Twitter. I'm going to post the rewards, and I'm going to go to sleep. So, I had fun. I hope you did too. Please spread the word. I want you to bother all the streamers that stream Isaac and tell them to start talking about this. Start tweeting about it. Make sure everybody knows about it. I have a feeling that a majority of larger followers that follow me right now have muted my account because I'm spamming the fuck out of Twitter at this point, and I lose shitloads. I last Kickstarter, I think I lost like 20,000, 15,000 followers because people were fucking tired of me talking about this goddamn Kickstarter. It's going to happen again. So I need your help. Do God's work. Spread the word of Isaac. Get this shit going. We are sitting at... What are we sitting at? A perfect 2.9 million. We are very close to 3 million, guys. That's insane. Let's keep it going and have some fun. This is only the end of the first fucking day. We've got so much time left. And I appreciate how funny you guys are and how creative you are. And I hope to wake up to a bunch of chaos tomorrow. I will see you later.